Yeah, so he cuts my hair, and I'm going through, it's taking an hour. I'm like, I'll take a little bit more here, do this here, blah, blah. And after this, it took all the life out of this man as a black barber, as a African-American, as a blood of Christ, as a Hebrew, as a, see, I'm telling y'all what it is, right? So if he throws out a bar right here, it might be a bar only, like what Pac said, you and I know what's going on, right? But it's all psychological, right? So it's like, what button is someone gonna hit? Where can you hit them? It's like, I was just at the game with Jay Prince last night, and just seeing, it was talking about how many below the belts there were, how many this there was, and the whole thing about
on that record that he had.
You know what it is? I got the perfect. I never thought about this tonight.
Okay.
You know what? I bit his ear. I bit his ear. You know
what I'm saying? Tyson bit? Like Mike Tyson?
You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't see what Holyfield was doing. Right. They ain't see what he was doing. Tyson like telling the refs like, yo, you ain't see this? You ain't see this? He's like, Tyson, I'm gonna just take this in my own hands.
Holy shit, I've never heard of this.
No, but you making me, I'm just, because it's in front of me. I was like, I was a fight there. Right. We talking about this. We've been, discussing doing things together to bring attention to Hoover's situation.
Right.
And actually, I got Larry Hoover Jr. with me.
I introduced myself. I recognize his face.
So at a certain moment, I want to take a moment where he could talk about the exact situation. Y'all could really understand this leader and political prisoner. Right. Like when I went to the White House, I said, this is me in a different dimension. Any one of us that can organize somebody, they gonna take us down. They've been taking, the leaders and the fathers out of the community and only leave us with a hustler mentality because you ain't got a dad that's showing you how to save money and what property to buy and how to build your own factories. We're gonna be jumping up and down for the idea of like Virgil getting a job for Bernard Arnault or me getting a job at The Gap or Adidas. A lot of times it's like we all was born white supremacists, racist, and homophobic. That's the bottom, that's the baseline. That's another thing. I don't even got the word for it, but it's like a phobia of mental health. That's the thing when people try to write it off. That's like even when I cut my hair like that, I'm like, yo, they're gonna try to freeze
what's the
my
name
account.
of that haircut?
At first, I called it the Britney.
Oh, Britney Spears. Okay, I get it.
Now it could be called a yay. But when I see that, bro, I'm telling you, the Declaration of Insanity is a form of censorship and control. Feds, Democrat, whatever, they know who I am. So I was up there like, man, maybe I shouldn't do, this interview because that's when they gonna come. And Forbes was always on some white supremacist shit, like down to me. For 3 years, they like, oh, Kylie a billionaire, Ye not a billionaire. And even in my Forbes, if you read the article, it's drenched with some like Jackie Robinson.
Because Jackie Robinson was the first.
Yeah. So the idea of what it even means to be a billionaire, but to have not colored inside the lines. My mom was born into a drinking fountain. They told her what fountain she could drink out of. Now we born into a vote. They literally call it the black vote. Yeah. And by the way, we blood of Christ. We blood of Moses. We're not just a color in a crayon box. And if we knew that, who we really were, we'd treat each other differently. We'd treat ourselves differently. So when you say, I'm black and I'm proud, but of what? What concept are we understanding? They say, go see the African History Museum. Why do they start when the boats came? Why don't they start with the drum? Right. And that's why we farm land that isn't our own. Record labels, the NBA, Hollywood. These boys be scared. They be sitting there. Michael B. Jordan be telling my cousin, like, man, I want to do what Ye do, but I'm just, I'm right here. Or, like Kevin Hart be like, man, I like that. I'm envious of what Dave Chappelle could do. And then they sitting it at us. Me to him. Say this. Tech, blah, blah. He said this. He said that. So let's look at it. Let's open up this Bible. Your grandmother like, you need Jesus.
Yeah, you need Jesus.
That's what you need. Yeah.
My favorite song, by the way.
Because praise God. Because all of this that we doing, it ain't adding up to nothing. And now God is pointing at me and said, this man worth $9 billion.
Jesus.
This man, and that's pretty good for a black man. Since I was like, oh, the black. First of all, I said that before. We got to take the black version off of it. Because I'm running circles around, all the other. You know what we're gonna
Them
do?
guys.
Yeah.
All
You know
others.
No, that black or white. But what we're gonna do to the world?
We gotta make some noise for that.
Yeah.
We gotta continue.
Like, and he checked me like, who you screaming at? Who you screaming at? But it's like, boy, when you dismiss me and when I try to stand up and you push my shoulder like that, that's a part of the programming in schools today. I seen my son do his homework at Sierra Canyon because daddy got his own school called Donda, named after my mom. First black female English chair at English department at Chicago State. So he's doing his homework and it's math and it's got 3 eggs and 2 eggs. That's
deep. That's deep.
We in these schools right now, baby. Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna get killed by the end of this interview. I'm gonna try my best.
No, you're giving it to
It would have gotten worse, to be honest.
You're giving it to
You know what I'm saying? But it's a part of the overall slave ship and the slave mentality. When I cut my hair like this.
You cut it yourself or a barber did that?
Let me tell you, I should have cut my hair myself because I was in Europe.
So you paid a nigga to do that?
No, tell me. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm asking. Dude.
It's funny that you say that because I asked, he kept on like cutting it, because this guy's a barber. If you ever cut a plug in somebody's hair, your barbershop might shut down. I cut hair for a living back, 14, 15. I used to do that to buy clothes and also to buy music equipment.
Okay.
So if you cut a plug in somebody's hair, you could lose your job. You can.
Right.
I remember I used to cut hair, and I had like. One day I had like 6 clients. I had the most money. I might have had like 120, I don't know. And the next day, these barbers, they was real good in town. They said, your boy was on a mission. Yesterday I was feeling all proud. I was like, yeah, well, I was getting it in. And then he said, people was walking in like this and walking out like this.
Because you just hurrying up?
No, because I was bad.
I didn't know he was going there. Okay.
So he cuts my hair, and I'm going through, it's taking an hour. I'm like, I'll take a little bit more here, do this here, blah, blah. And after this, it took all the life out of this man as a black barber, as a African-American, as a blood of Christ, as a Hebrew, see, I'm telling y'all what it is,
Yeah,
right? So,
listening.
and he was so disappointed that he didn't even charge me. He just walked away like, man, I did this to Kanye West.
For something that you asked for, too.
Yeah. And then a few days later, I cut my hair. Now, mind you, I thought it was lit. And the orphanage that I'm creating called Donda, named after my mom, because my mom saved my life. My mom was like, I'm keeping Kanye. This orphanage is going to provide, first of all, the way God is, we already got, what do we call them, bed nurses? All right, so this is like when you go and get your ultrasound, they tell you if your baby's going to come out okay. In hospitals today, they would tell a black mother that the baby not finna come out today because we are inside. Us as 12 tribes of Judah, as a member of the Hebrew people, we are still inside of our genocide. 50% of all black deaths a year is abortion. And
Black deaths
a year is abortion.
Wow.
And Plan B was created by Margaret Sanger with the KKK for black population control. And what am I doing? I know the guy from Texas got a lot of backlash for changing the laws. I'm not in a position, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is providing a plan A, an opportunity where you can bring your children. If you feel like you can't take care of them, you ain't got a place to take them, you don't have a support system, we got a place that's gonna have, I'm like, you thought that I wasn't gonna try to get killed in this interview? Dr. Sebi's diet,
Right.
based off Dr. Sebi's diet, saving not only black children, but all God's children, giving an opportunity of a utopia. Because the reason why we didn't get our 40 acres and a mule is we have 40 acres, we have more people. We have more people and we have leadership with the leaders not strategically taken out of the community in the 80s and the drugs and guns put into it. And then the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? The 808. The 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there. And now, today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip hop and what we was breakdancing to, it was light.
The percussion.
It was upbeat. It was the drums. Now it's like, and all of this is a bigger, and it's like, man, you know, at this point, it's like they should have killed me when I said George Bush don't care about black people. I ain't got nothing to say. You know, they SNL making my wife say I divorced him on TV because they just wanted to get that bar off, and I ain't never even seen the papers. We not even divorced.
Wow.
So how we, because that ain't no joke to me. My kids want their parents to stay together. Right. I want us to be together. But
I want y'all to be together too.
If you look at the media, that's not what they promoting.
Right.
That's not what they want. They want it to be a new wedding, a new episode, a new TV show. This is here to remind you of who they want us to be and not who we really are, bro. And you know when I say they, who there's overlapping they.
Niggas at college be talking about. They don't want you to eat up a sandwich.
Yeah, because they don't love you. They will put up with you, but they do not love us in that way. You know, I could come right here and let y'all know y'all entrapped. Ain't made it nowhere.
Right.
Y'all aiming at the wrong people. I love Drake. Lucien, how you like that one? How you like that one? I love Drake Vivendi. How you like that one? I love Drake Disney. How you like that one? What y'all collaborate and listen? Come get me. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna me too me? Y'all come up with some type of scam? Y'all gonna come up with something and try to take me? No, God had me for a reason, because if I was at Nike, you think I'd have been able to wear a red hat? You think I'd been able to have an opinion? You think I'd been able to show you we can have an opinion? That's all you needed to see. We are not immune from who we influenced by. Right here, I'm here to light it up, then I'm gone. But after an interview like this, I did my job. But if I hadn't come to you and said this and kept it to myself, then God couldn't have used me. You know what I'm saying? I only fear God, as I said, and I'm not always obedient. You know, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on out here. You know what I'm saying? I fall short. They say Moses killed the man and all the, you know, before God called on him. Man, our freedom is, first of all, let's do everything we can to keep our children. There's a foundation that has been started. I actually bumped into the gentleman whose dad started a foundation in Israel that gives money to women who are thinking about not having a baby. And that's the exact time that I'm on. That's what we own. That's what we own. We own God time now. Somehow I made it this far, man. You know, to be able to give y'all this information.
Beautiful. Thank you, by the way.
Praise as a black barber, as a African American, as a blood of Christ, as a Hebrew, I'm telling y'all what it is, right? So.